All right. It's recording.
99-7.
Is this thing on? Is this? I can't tell.
99-7, Monday, May 20th, 5/11.
-7. 5/11? Uh-oh.
5/11. U.S. company manufacturing in China.
Yes, most of it is made in China. Well, I guess all of it's made in China.
I think they have some U.S. shit.
They tried to. They were trying to do some
neat looking shit. I
American.
do have a pair of pants on here and here today that look fucking pretty cool. I had fucking mag pouches in the booty. That's what you need. When you fall prone, if you have enough mags back there, if you fall
That's
prone
right.
backwards,
If you fall prone, you could just go.
Fall prone backwards.
Go for the booty mags. Get your booty mags.
What'd you do this weekend?
Everything. Tractor.
How many times did you have to reload it? How many times did you have to regas it?
I did not regas it.
How'd you seed?
I didn't seed anything.
How are you going to?
By hand. Like an Amish person. Yeah.
You gonna have a fucking like a newspaper bag that
No,
you just
I'm
throw your
gonna-
fucking shit from?
You're
gonna
punch them in
hand
the
crank?
ground. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
hand
punch
crank
them
them
in the ground.
Yeah.
What are you putting in?
Corn. Sweet corn. It's only like.
Oh, okay,
It's only
okay.
like
You're
fucking
growing corn
20
to eat. I'm picturing food plot.
No, well, I did the food plot. I did the deer food plot where that's all I did is I just ground it up, threw it out, and then ground it up again, and that shit is fucking going off the hook. But this, I'm just
ground it up. So you tilled it and
and
ran a cultivator over it and did it again.
I tilled it 3 times, no cultivator. I tilled it 3 times, then I threw the seed.
Isn't a cultivator a tiller?
I have no idea.
I think it's the same.
Sounded like 2 different things. And I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing with this tractor. What I did realize that I was doing was I was running the RPMs way too high for all the implements. But
makes them work better.
That's what in my head. That's what I think.
It dulls them up.
In my head, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, if 580 horsepower or 580.
Who corrected the error of your ways?
Well, I went to the manual and I'm looking at it. I'm like.
That's just,
I don't know how I can keep that horsepower up.
The guys that write the manuals don't even.
And then it was like,
tractors.
holy shit! I'm doing like 1,500 RPMs higher than I'm supposed to.
Well, if it's calling for 1,000, 3,000's better.
Yeah, it's got to be better. So
it'll break rocks that way.
So far, I can't complain.
You have probably put more hours on your tractor than any fucking buddy they've sold a tractor to.
Oh, and then I doubt it. I'm sure there's real farmers. I'm just fucking around with it.
How many acres of food plot you put in?
Oh, I haven't put.
Are you putting strips here
and there? I just put strip. I put strips up top, and then I'm doing probably I'll bet it's 50 by 50. I don't know what an acre is. 50 by 50, which is not an acre.
I want to say an acre is 2,100 by 2,100 or something.
And I'm just doing the Walmart seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fucking sweet corn. There's probably 15 seeds in there, and then I'm gonna do watermelon. I'm just gonna plant it all and just see what happens.
Right.
I'm not gonna Dr. Doolittle it or anything. I'm just gonna see what happens. Because I was amazed with now I'm sure the deer stuff. It's because it's not edible. I don't know, but I was just amazed that I threw that shit down. I didn't do anything, and it is fucking it's blown up. It's going off.
Where'd you buy the deer stuff?
Walmart again.
Came in a bag or a bucket?
Yeah,
it
just came in a bag.
A lot of it's not just seed, it's got fertilizer and shit with it.
Yeah, so it went on.
So we put all these trees in, so every couple days we've been going by with some 5-gallon buckets of water on the 4-wheelers and some cups and just giving every tree a drink. And they're jumping. They've fucking literally tripled in size. These trees are fucking really growing. Plus it gives, it makes me go out there and kind of know what the fuck's going on. So we've been doing that, and there's trees growing everywhere, everywhere. So we've planted trees all along the lines, by the power lines, between the gas station. So while I'm over there, I'm noticing just these weeds growing up, and I just kind of pull weeds out and just leave them to die on top of the soil. And really, I'm only pulling them so that they don't go to seed and make a bunch more weeds. So I've pulled all these things out, and around the trees, under the trees, there's a fucking ton of weeds, and they're all the same. And I'm pulling them up, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, wait a minute. It's fucking peaches. Those peaches have seeded that blew off last year, and they've gone to seed now. There are fucking hundreds of peach trees. So when I pull them out, they're like little bare root, because they're not in soil. They're growing in 20 inches of wood chip. And so I'm going to go through tomorrow, I think, with some wet towels and shit and pull them and then
try and replant them. That'd be kind of cool.
You don't like I had heard that all fruit trees pretty much that you buy nowadays are like signwood, which means they take a graft off of one and put it on rootstock. So I don't really know what those seeds will actually produce, but I mean maybe they'll do so. I don't know. We'll put them out and fucking just plant them and see
That'd be
what
cool if
happens
that works.
And then if you look by the front gate for some reason, there's like 50. They're about an inch tall right now. There's 50 little pine trees just growing in the gravel. Like we can just pull them up, put them right in some fucking potting soil, and then
everywhere you don't want them to grow.
Everywhere we don't want them, fucking it. Gravel. What the fuck is it about gravel? And some birds made a nest in the Super Duty, in the tailpipe.
Mm-hmm.
Cody's like, "There's a nest up there." Well, I'd started the truck like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago probably. I drove the truck to the snake trailer and did the animals and shit. So it like blew some of that shit out. Well, they made it a nest again, and then I drove the truck yesterday and it fucking shot. I mean, like, dude, they must have had that fucking tailpipe packed with fucking 12 inches. It blew it out, like enough that I could pick up 2 huge clumps and throw it over the fence. Well, when I parked, I got out and I was looking around when I went to pick that shit up, and there's pine trees growing all fucking behind the truck. So,
Pine trees.
we'll snatch
This
those
is a
up.
pine forest.
There's supposed to be a storm system coming through. I've seen a few things on social media about it. They're saying that it's several back-to-back. Never in the history has there been a storm system like this. It's supposed to come across and hit like 8 states. It's supposed to catch Tennessee around Friday, Saturday, and it's supposed to have pretty well been fizzled out by then. It's supposed to hit just the west tip, the west edge of Tennessee. So hopefully you guys see this and you're prepared for it. You don't usually see Spearco cry wolf or anything. Like you never see it. Like usually when dudes are posting this shit, he's the first one out there to go, "Don't worry about Ebola. You are more likely to die from a bee sting in the United States than you are Ebola." Flu, yeah.
The flu kills more people.
But Jack actually posted about this, so it actually, because he posted it, I actually clicked on the link and read it, and it's like some fucking crazy Twister, the movie, some shit like that. So be prepared for it.
You should already be prepared.
You should already be, but you're not, most of you. So just fucking be prepared. Have a plan. If it's coming your direction, know where you're gonna fucking hunker down and have a plan. Like if your shit gets wrecked, where are you going? Have two places to go, opposite directions. Have some shit stored in a few different places. Just be ready, guys.
And if you don't have a plan, if you haven't already planned it out, just make sure you get as many of your friends as you can. Go to Walmart right now, buy all the milk and bread that they have.
Yes.
Because that is a hot commodity when a storm happens. Milk and bread.
Is that milk toast?
I don't know why. I have not figured the Tennessee combination of milk and bread. I don't understand it.
Like I always heard milk toast. What is milk toast? Isn't that toast that you soak in milk?
Maybe, but would it still be considered toast if it was soaked in milk?
I don't know. It's fucking
Does
crazy.
it have to-
It is crazy. Like I heard this when we moved here and we started having, like, we moved here in July. So when we started having storms, I just wanted to go to Walmart and see what it was. Because in San Diego, we didn't have, like, you had earthquakes. Like, nobody was, like, pre-buying for an earthquake. So I wanted to go see, like, the crazy shit and it's crazy, man. Cletus is in there with his 27 kids. They're all barefoot, and they've all got a fucking 2 gallons of milk. There's motherfuckers at checkout with a ton of flashlights and no batteries. Like, it's insane. So, absolutely correct, Skully. Interstate 95, along with others after World War II, have the same concrete substrate and regs as the International Airport. Same as the world's largest landing strip at the time, which was the Autobahn. Bunkers and tanks were also buried in the hills. Thanks, SOE and crew, for the content.
Please tell me where those tanks are buried in those hills.
That's pretty cool. Yes, John will definitely check out farm extracts. Always looking for good CBD.
Works good. Are you still sleeping?
So I ran out.
Okay, you ran out. You ran out of the sleep potion. I kind of ran out. I ran out of the sleep potion too.
I got some more, and fucking yeah, it works. That's really all there is.
That's good,
to it.
because that's all you were looking for.
Yeah, just I want a
sleep.
light switch. That's what I'm looking for. Got some and that's farm extracts. It's Pharma X, the letter X, Trax, TRACS. They're in Las Vegas, so just Google them up, find them. Those dudes have been cool. We've ordered from them twice now. Got some Typhon red mesh pockets in the mail. I like the new SOE sticker that was included. Eric, so we have a few different SOE stickers, and I bought thousands of each one. So they come in reams of, I don't know what's in a ream, a couple hundred. So I'll open one, and when those run out, we'll open another one and just kind of rotate through them. So there's a few different stickers in motion that we're shipping out. Pierre was close on the story from Lambo's. Ferruccio Lamborghini owned a few Ferraris and he loved racing them. Problem was the clutches were shit. He then tried telling Enzo Ferrari about the imperfections in Ferraris. Well, Enzo said the problem was with the driver and told Ferruccio he wasn't taking advice from a tractor mechanic. I believe I've heard that. I believe I heard that on Top Gear or something.
Take that, Britney Spears.
Why Britney Spears?
Because she ruined a Lamborghini 2 minutes after taking it out of the parking lot because she fucking dropped a clutch in it.
Really?
Yeah. This is a long time ago.
The price for the CVD from Farm Extracts is $25 cheaper than my local brick and mortar. We'll definitely have to give them a try. Thanks for the info. Reef, right on, man. Check them out. James Blackwell. Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work. Skully, how far does a 40 mic round travel when fired from an M4 mounted grenade launcher?
Not far. 400 yards. Is that right? 400?
And that's with a total lob, right?
Yeah, I think I might be even pushing it. Maybe it's 350. It's been so long since I fucked with any of that stuff. If you want to fire a 40 mic and you want to hit something far away, it's always the Mark 19. Because that's like a
longer barrel.
Well, it's a longer barrel, but it's a 40 millimeter Magnum, really. That is fun as fuck to shoot at targets, because that thing, man, when you do it and it's just doom 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 boom 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 boom, it's fucking fun as shit. 40 millimeter grenades are cool, but it's really more of a close-in type of weapon. If you see, if you are in the position where you're seeing somebody shoot 40 millimeter grenades at something that is too far away, it's almost embarrassing because they're just like click click.
Can you fire a Mark 19 round out of a 203?
You cannot.
Can you fire a 203 out of a Mark 19? Can you open the breech on a Mark 19? I've never fucked with one.
Could you fire a... I don't think... I might be completely wrong on this.
For you guys that don't know, a Mark 19 is a belt-fed grenade launcher.
You cannot shoot the Mark 19 ammo in your standard Ford because it has a harder powder charge. It's a.
Will it fit?
I don't know, because here's the thing. It's linked ammo, right? So the 40 millimeter is linked ammo, and I don't know if you can get them out of the links. It's not like 50 cal links or 5.56 links where you can push those rounds out and shoot them in something else. The Mark 19 link is it's like it wants to be there forever. So I don't know if you can even get them out of the links.
They delink when they fire, though, don't they?
Yes, the grenade launcher delinks it.
So, will the round fire?
Could you put a 40 millimeter round in a Mark 19 and fire it? Maybe. You can't do it the other way around.
Okay, back to just normal 40 mic for the 203. Is the 79 barrel longer than the 203 barrel?
I don't think so. I think they're the same length.
So the range is going to be the same.
Same range is based off of the round, not the tube. There's not enough powder in there to throw it real far. Just because.
So even if you had like an 18-inch barrel, 79.
Yeah, if you had an 18, it wouldn't do you any good.
I started listening to the. I heard the grenade story from the guy involved. I had a good laugh out of it. Right on, Scott. I started listening to the MFCEO podcast this month. Thanks to your recommendations, John. I went back to the very beginning, and I'm glad I did. I started using the power list, and it's been a total game changer. I've been working on the website to get it to a good enough spot to send to the public. I still have time for the garden, full-time job, kids, and the side hustle. I've done 5 more cutting boards since the one I sent you, and I've noticed a change in my approach because of Andy's teaching. Thanks for recommending it.
What's the power list?
Basically, you take the things you need to do, the 5 things you need to do and accomplish
For the day?
For 30 days to make them habit. And it's not like a to-do list.
Gotcha.
It's like I need to get up and physically move and exercise for 30 minutes. And you just do it until it becomes second nature. As soon as it's second nature and you're performing those tasks on a normal basis without thinking about them, they come off the list and they get replaced. That's basically what it is. The cutting board, you saw the cutting board?
Yeah, cutting board's awesome.
It's fucking robust. It's like it
awesome.
feels. You know, you just hold shit and you're like, this isn't worth $100 or this isn't worth $200. Like that fucking thing, you're like, this might be too heavy. Like it's pretty
awesome.
wild, man. It's
awesome
fucking good shit. You need to listen to Ed Milet also. I don't know how far you are through the MFCEO podcast. Andy had him on the show. Ariat Syndicate, Andy has partnered up with Ed Milet. Ed's got a lot of good shit about just moving with purpose, execution, proper use of time, just squeezing every fucking useful minute, every second out of every minute is really what it comes down to. But yeah, it's all real shit, and they're both, like, in listening to them, they're giving you shit that you can implement immediately and start changing things within your life, like, that day. It's not shit that you gotta work up to or go buy some other bullshit or read some fucking books and try to kind of discern the information. Like, it's all real shit from guys that have really done it. Christopher Mercer was talking to a farmer last week about glyphosate in food. They told me they know organic farmers who spray their crops. They also said they always spray the fields right before harvest. All the harvested crops go through the same trucks and storage elevators. Cross-contamination is everywhere. There's no getting around it unless you grow your own shit. And hope your neighbors don't spray for weeds on a windy day. Yeah, so really what that comes down to is stop fucking eating grain crops. Because that's what they're growing. They're growing corn. They're growing soybeans, stuff like that. Your vegetables, you know, if you buy farm to fork or farmer's market, you have a better chance. And the reason they're spraying that, I just recently heard this on Spearco show, as a matter of fact. Yes, they are spraying so that Roundup Ready fields, they spray the fields, it kills everything. They can plant the seeds in there, and the residue does not affect the plants because the plants are genetically modified to be Roundup Ready. They spray while the crop is growing to keep the weeds down, and then right prior to harvest they spray again. It creates stress to the plant, and it forces the plant to produce a fuller kernel, fuller grain, fuller ears of corn, whatever it is, because the plant thinks it's being it's dying. So to preserve the plant's lineage, it produces more seed, and that's what the harvest is. So they do it to create stress in the plant, and it fucking puts on fuller seeds and more seed. It literally, the harvest grows larger by the stress. Spraying just before harvest heads, that's me telling the guy basically that. The weapons collection says, damn, this is the best podcast so far. Good flow, great conversation. Hell yeah, guys. I hope you can justify keeping up the podcast. It's great content. Please print the Bristol chart on your cards. Also, 308 micro rigs hitting the sewing machine soon. Weapons collection. I have not seen any orders for 308 micros. I thought that was going to hit the shelf right here and straighten all these out.
Straighten them out.
So send me an email, what color you want, left hand, right hand, on your micro rig, and I'll get back with you on it. And this podcast is I think the last one we did with Pierre is this is all in response to. Did I miss? Not that you would send me a memo. Something. Does Pierre work for SOE now? Dave, no. Pierre is currently at Mercedes-Benz, probably, well, it's 5:30. I mean, I'll bet he works probably a 4-hour work day.
What do you think? I mean, what do you think?
Well,
they probably close at 6, right?
Pierre's a millennial. So the millennial lifestyle is that you get 3 weeks off for every week you work. They're kind of on the German system.
Well, I mean,
Pierre just got back. Like, Pierre was just on a week's vacation.
It's kind of telling. I mean, I don't know about when you say millennial. It is telling in the sense that when he was here those 3 days, and he was like, I've moved more in the past 3 days than I've moved my entire life. I'm like, what?
So like when everybody always said millennial, right? And I always think like Cody, 20 years old, 21, 25.
Cody's not even millennial.
He's not. Millennial, truly millennial that's Pierre and those guys. That's
How old is Pierre? Do you know?
30?
I have no idea.
5? 35? 30? I think
no
it's
idea.
30. I want to say he's 30-ish.
I should, since he's on the list of, but I don't know.
There we go. Hi all. A random question. What country got the best MRE? It is always fun to see different opinions on that. There we go. Made it all the way to episode 99. Hype for 100. Haven't missed one yet. Still out here in Venezuela. Ho ho ho.
Oh, Venezuela.
Rafael,
all right.
what's up? I heard it's fucking really bad there.
Yeah, I mean, how is it? How is it really, Rafael? Since you are in Venezuela, it's one of those things. We're getting our media from two sources: the left that says
Us and us.
the left that says there's nothing wrong in Venezuela, that all the supermarkets still have food, and the right who are saying you are eating your children. There's really no real fucking information about Venezuela going on down there, up here in the United States.
People overseas probably think that the United States, like, we just shit on sidewalks now. Like, they're probably seeing San Francisco and under bridges and fucking Kentucky and shit. We don't see none of that shit.
Yeah, we don't see none of that. We don't see none of that. And as far as the best MREs, I was searching.
Canada.
I don't know. If I bet you know what? Canada. Let's just be honest. Canadians are lazy. I'll bet the Canadians eat our MREs. They order our MREs. Maybe I might be wrong.
They probably get our fucking decommissioned MREs.
The only foreign MREs I've ever had was the French version and the German version. The Germans put some of the most disgusting things on the face of the planet inside their MREs.
Like what?
Just blood sauce, just weird, gross shit. Now they did have like a lasagna that was fucking awesome, and I would go over to the embassy and steal all the lasagna because there's coming boxes.
You saying that.
There's coming boxes, so I would steal that. But the best part about the German MRE is it came with a piece of dark chocolate.
Didn't it have wine in it too?
The French one had a little wine thing in it, but the French one again too was. I'm not as John will attest to, I'm not very adventurous when it comes to eating. So I'm not eating the sushi rolls or any of that stuff. And if I can't really identify what's in the package, I'm not going to eat it. And the only thing that was good out of the French MREs was the crackers and the cheese and shit like that. But outside of that, there was too much weird shit in their MREs.
Really expensive, smelly cheese.
Yeah, really expensive, smelly cheese.
Hey, Skully, the ATF has started impounding 40 Mike TPT rounds from legal Class 3 DD owners. Man, we just had the motherfucker here.
Like
we just had the dude in the building that would know all the answers.
I don't know the deal with any of that stuff as far as civilian 40mm grenade launchers and what the ATF allows and I'm not the subject matter expert. As a matter of fact, I don't know shit when it comes to Class 3 laws because I am not a Class 3 guy. I don't own any Class 3 stuff. I just barely, within the last 2 years, got into the silencer game. So I don't know what the ATF is doing. But they can't... I would say you'd have to see who they're confiscating that stuff from and why. The reality is it's probably a paperwork issue more than anything. Because that's usually how they get anybody who's doing anything legal. It's usually some paperwork bullshit. Like that guy that recently you may have seen on the news, the dude with 3,000 guns in his fucking home. It's paperwork bullshit that got him rolled up. So it's usually just paperwork. And once you're at the government level, the paperwork's even more scarier. When I was at Camp Pendleton, we had a fucking hazmat nightmare there because, Marines are only at SOI for 15 minutes and they're going to dump the oil over the fence. But we had this female Marine who might have been a witch. Not sure.
Definitely a witch.
But she
had dead animals in her car.
She had the fucking paperwork down so good, the federal and state paperwork down so good, that those guys would literally come up and walk past a fucking hazmat situation and be like, "Let me see your paperwork."
Like a bunch of batteries in a fucking...
They'd look at the paperwork and they'd be like, "You're good to go." So it's probably just some paperwork bullshit. I don't know.
Great podcast. I've really enjoyed the addition of Pierre, also known as Green Pants. I will be in the area in July and really hoping to get a chance to stop by. Keep up the great work. Judd Miller, come on by, man. Cigar Captain says explosive diarrhea.
That would be number 7 on the Bristol poop chart.
With the proper license, isn't a Class 10 required to manufacture destructive devices? Again, we don't.
Yeah, I'm not in that game enough to know. I know Billy Stojak, prior to his passing, had every license known to man. And if you went and talked to him about fucking making any type of Class 3s or any of that shit, he would tell you you're fucking insane. It's not going to happen.
I think Goat Guns on IG makes small guns you're looking for. I'm looking for a quantity wholesale, like a couple hundred of them. They're little model guns to put on the combat cocks. Felons can hunt most countries except USA and Canada for the most part. It's guided and supplied. Only thing stopping anything is money. Thanks, SOE and crew, for the awesome podcast. Right on, Brian.
Speaking I wonder, you think, though, is a picture, would that be
considered possession?
Would that be a convictable crime? So, like, if you went to Africa hunted a tiger, and you had a picture of you holding that rifle,
I hear it's not a problem. I'm sure that. I'm
just wondering if, because as crazy as our law enforcement is, I wonder if anybody's 100%. Been ever rolled up because of that.
Or they would use that as probable cause to execute a search warrant saying that it was in the United States.
And then they'd be like, you have too many illegal batteries in your possession. You're under arrest.
Yeah. Speaking of bungee, I bought a 2 to 1.0D bungee sling a few weeks ago. It's very nice. Bryce, yes, it's very... You'll enjoy it, man. It'll work well for you. Ford makes headrests in the same way. At least they did 20 years ago. I said it before. I sewed 1999 Lincoln Town car headrests as my job at Ford Motor Company. Also, I'll say it again, anyone at SOE that needs a X-Plan discount, hit me up. What is an X-Plan?
Yeah, what's the X-Plan?
X-Plan discount. In Ohio, they raised registry fee to $100 on hybrids because they raised our gas tax.
Yeah, I mean, all that Democratic New Green Deal, all that bullshit, it's all bullshit. California's doing the same thing. I believe they already do, tax all your fucking electric cars. They've shut down payment for anybody with solar. It's bullshit. It's all about fucking money. It's just people trying to get in your fucking pockets. You can't, in California, you cannot go off grid. So if you buy fucking Tesla's mysterious house battery, that would be legal in California. You cannot install that and then shut the fucking SDG&E out of your life.
Porsche and Vats and Creighton are not involved. It's Ferrari and Lamborghini. Porsche gave zero fucks about the Italians' arguments. Thanks, Pierre and SOE crew, for awesome content.
What is a Vats and Creighton?
I don't know. Volkswagen, maybe?
Maybe.
Someone asked for a single fold wallet. I was fortunate enough to get a Stingray wallet and have been using it ever since. Every now and then, when I pay for something, I'll get noticed, and I love the mixed reactions I get explaining your company to randoms. Did you make the wallet in-house, or did you guys have someone do a run? Either way, it's probably my favorite piece of SOE gear. Podcast is a shit. We had somebody do a run. We requested specifically that all children slave labor was under the age of 10 when they made those.
And all the wallets were made out of the actual ray that killed Steve Irwin. So, rest in peace, Steve.
We used a company to make those wallets, and it was an absolute fucking nightmare. That's why we've never run any more of them. We refused 2 batches of wallets when they delivered them. We had to tell the dude, look, we're gonna fuck you up. Like, we are going to fucking do everything possible to fuck your life up if you don't get this shit. Like, it was a fucking absolute disaster. Like, you won't see those wallets again. So, enjoy the one you got. When we finally got them, they came out nice. They were still not what they were supposed to be. There's 100 pieces out there, and that's all there is of them. Have any Have any of you been on jury duty? No, I'm a felon. I'm not allowed to go to jury duty. It's a blast. I finished out after 5 jury selections. We were talking highly paid adults yelling and fisting at each other for hours.
I went to the mandatory meeting in California. I had to go to the thing where you sit in the room and they're like, all right, just sit here in case we need a jury. I did that for a week and 8 hours in this fucking room that has nothing. There's nothing to do in this fucking room. And then after the week, they're like, okay, I guess we didn't need any jurors.
That's some bullshit. Water balloons full of paint tossed on windows of that APC would stop it or at least slow them down.
You know it would work even better? Some sort of...
AT4?
Well, AT4 would definitely work. It would definitely slow them down. Or any type of flammable material that you could put in there and throw on that APC. That'll work even better. You can choke those vehicles out. And I'll bet you 100% that those Venezuelan vehicles do not have any seals in them anymore. So all that liquid would probably go right on inside of the vehicle, and those guys would eventually just get out of the vehicle and leave it. So maybe next time use some sort of, I don't know, fucking alcohol or
50 cal.
50 cal, if you can get a 50 cal. But they burned the food shipment up, so all those guns we were trying to smuggle into fucking Venezuela, you guys didn't get. So
people who walk in off the street and ask if you have tried doing X. I hired a young kid at the restaurant. It might have been his first real job. He was one of these kids who obviously had a lot of participation trophies growing up. Constantly complained that things were moving too fast and his trainers weren't paying him enough attention. He skipped his 3rd and 4th morning shift. He showed up at night like nothing happened. I asked him why he was close to 7 hours late. He said he worked last night and he was tired. He got done at midnight. Lived a few blocks away and was scheduled at 9 a.m. the next morning. I said, everyone is tired. That is why this is called a job and not a hobby. I also said, you had 9 hours between shifts. He then said he should quit and if I was okay with that. He wanted to make sure I wasn't mad. Meanwhile, I was covering someone who didn't show up in one of the other kitchens and didn't have time to nurture him. I said, sure, and pointed to the door and said, there's the door. He then walks around the building talking to anyone that'll listen on how we, management, don't care about him. That was in September of last year. In February, he stops in and requests to speak with me. I think he is going to ask about his W-4. He jumps in the middle of a conversation and says he just wanted to let me know what was going on and why he quit. I said, okay, what happened? He said, we should not schedule dishwashers and we should just let people do whatever they want to. I was speechless. I thought this ignorant fucker is trying to run a kitchen in one of the busiest restaurants in Minnesota, and he has worked a sum total of 30 days in a commercial kitchen. The best part is then he says, I thought you should know what is wrong with one of your kitchens. I said, you've been fucking thinking about this for 5 months. We've had 40 people from literally all over the world work that kitchen over the last year. Yet you are the only one who had any issue on being assigned specific things to do. That is what a job is. If you don't make someone specifically responsible for doing dishes, i.e. a dishwasher, for example, the dishes aren't going to get done. He got pissy after that and just walked away from him. And I just walked away because I'm an adult and had shit to do. He'll be back.
That's typical.
He'll be back.
That's why us old people are going to rule the world. These fucking millennials are. I say anybody under the age of 30 is going to be useless. I just heard a thing about. They're talking about how our civilization has no capability of. We have no capability of survival. So if we have a major incident, which happens all the time, by the way, which I didn't realize this, but if we had like a major impact,
earthquake and Ebola,
something that 90% of the population would die out because their fucking phone turned off.
Think about just if power went out. Power goes out, let's say a week. You're gonna have people that just kill themselves.
Yeah.
It's the end of the world. Oh no, I can't. I'm not going to survive. They're literally going to just kill themselves. And then if the power went out, how many people would die because they had a fucking CPAP machine or their oxygen fucking doesn't work or whatever fucking they're reliant on? Like, we have allowed people to remain alive. I mean, just advancements in modern medicine, just things that, you know, are just normal everyday thing. I mean, think about it, if cable television shut off. You would literally, if cable TV ceased to exist, if no TV would turn on tomorrow, you would have people kill themselves over it.
I know who would still be alive, though. My 93-year-old neighbor. She would be perfectly fine. She just would. She'd be perfectly fine. She just reads the Bible. I mean, she'd probably be bummed that she probably couldn't go to church, but she'd be perfectly fine.
We'd take her to church. We would just have new church.
She offered it. She's Mormon.
That's where you should go.
She drives all the way to Nashville because that's the only place. So she drives
fucking insane.
An hour to get to Temple.
Who drives her?
She drives herself. Now, Nana is in her 70s.
I would not have guessed that.
And she goes to a Catholic church that's in, hell, I don't know where it's at, but it's close. It's only like 30 minutes away from our house. And our neighbor was like, I could drive by, pick you up, take you to church, and then on the way back, pick you and bring you back. Like, she's bus scheduling for this. It's crazy.
I didn't know Nana was 70 years old.
Yeah, she's in her 70s.
Man.
She doesn't show it.
No.
It's all that wine. When you get up there, you just pickle yourself.
So, that kid probably went in there, like when he got up that morning, it probably took him several mornings, but he got up that morning with the intention to ask for his job back, probably to go in there and apologize. And something happened in those 2 blocks from his house to you, where he couldn't bring it up in himself to say sorry, because he's just a little piece of shit like that. On the heels of that story, we have a girl who worked here. I want to say she quit and came back. And then the last time she quit, she said she's quitting because she was worried we were going to fire her. And has now sent a text while I was out there spraying weeds. I get a text message that says, it's so-and-so. I would like to come back to work. Can I come back to work? And I thought, you should probably start with apologizing to Dora first, like, because she talked a bunch of shit, like she's related to, you know, Dora.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
And then I have another one. You know who I'm talking about? The redheaded one?
Yeah.
I want to come back to work. So I get a private message. Hey, boss man, I really need to come back to work. And I look, and there's some other text there, like the whole history of our text. And then right on the line above it, it says, fuck you, don't ever contact me again. And I'm like, man, what did I say to this bitch to make her say that? What did I say? I said, hey, what's up? Here's how this goes.
After she said, hey, what's up?
She sends me a message, goes, hey, what's up? I reply back 5 minutes later, hey, what's up? 15 minutes later, I get a, fuck you, don't ever call me. Now, 6 months later, hey, boss man, I want to come back to work. And I said, do you see those words above the ones you just sent that says, fuck you, don't ever call me? I said, you said that.
Okay.
So I ignore it. And then yesterday, I really need to come to work like something awful.
If you know how you delete comments on your PM? So if I send you a message, I delete the comments on my phone. The comment's still on your phone, right? It doesn't delete the whole message?
I believe the comment. I believe it is there. So maybe her dude
sent
it and she didn't know. So I said, I said that, and she goes, yeah, things got really bad.
I'm just trying to envision the situation. Where you're like,
fuck you, don't ever call me.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've contacted my boss. Let me get on the old phone here and see if I can get my job back. And so when she opened to send the message, because she didn't create a new message, it had to say right there in front of her face, fuck you, don't ever contact me.
I would think so.
It's like, how?
Because when I called her on it, she's like, yeah, things got really bad there for a little while. She's out of tax return.
Mm-hmm.
We know this girl, This girl, we've hired her. I don't know that we've ever actually fired her. She always quits when called on her shit, and it's always like silly shit, like she'll build pelter. Let's say, for example, we give her 20 pelter wraps, right? And she builds them, and there's a time on those pelter wraps. Let's say it takes 2 hours to build 20 pelter wraps. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. And then the next day, I'll be like, man, these pelter wraps really took her a long time, because like we'll have the work staged on their sewing machine, so we know that by first break we should have a batch of work from them. But we don't see a batch of work from her come up till noon at lunchtime. So we start pulling slips. Like we have timing slips, start and finish marks. They have to, turn that in with the product. Well, if we're seeing 20 of something come in 2 hours, and then the next day we get 20 and it takes 5 hours, that's a problem, especially when it's the exact same thing. And that's the kind of shit. So, or they'll come and be like, hey, I need a raise. Like, we give raises. It's very rare that we give a raise to somebody that asks for it, because if they would have already gotten the raise without asking for it. Or there was I need to come back to work.
The first time that one frapped out was right after you gave her a raise.
Yeah.
You gave her a raise, and everybody bitched because she hadn't worked here that long, even though she was doing good work. She was doing good work.
Nobody should have even known we gave her a raise.
Yeah.
If they knew, it's because she was running her mouth.
And then just right after that, she takes a shit. I mean, here's my truth be told. There's a underlying drug problem, and that's the problem. But
that's what I told Dora as she's leaving. She goes, what are you going to do about him? I go, well, I'm going to tell the one she needs to contact you, and then you can do whatever you want with it. The other one, I think I'm just going to fucking continue to ignore, because we have some of her relatives here, and I'm like...
And they're doing good work.
They're doing good work, and like they don't even communicate with her. Like they don't even know that she's trying to come in and get a job.
They're doing good work, so I don't know how that would work out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking... It's a mess. I had something funny to say. I can't remember what it was. But that's it. I mean, there's... Oh, I said if she truly wanted the job, she'd have just walked in here fucking this morning and sat down like she had the job.
Yeah.
Because like we had this girl, Belt Girl, and like she's not with us any longer. Like she's in a cage somewhere, most likely.
Most likely.
In prison, unfortunately. Like I actually miss her. Like I liked her. She was fucking funny and cool, but she had drug problems.
Yeah, that's drugs. Stay away from drugs.
She really struggled. Like she really did go through times where she was clean and her face would clear up, and she was a completely different person. But it would always just go back, and every time it'd go back, it was worse. And like we would get in these fucking fights where like we're literally standing up. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. She's like, I will get the fuck. Like people are looking like, what the fuck's going on? Like almost like just waiting, like I'm gonna physically fight with this chick, and she'd fucking pack all her shit up and make a big scene of leaving, and then I'd be doing something on the computer and not see who came in, and I go sit down at the sewing machine and that bitch was there working. I'm like, didn't we agree that you're fired? And like rather than argue with her, I would just fucking not speak to her for 3 days, and we get 3 really good days worth of work out of her.
Really good days worth of work out of her.
It's crazy. And that's what this chick should have done. If she really wanted the job, she should have walked in here like she had the fucking job.
Just sat down and started working.
Fuck me. Thoughts are with you. Hope he's gone for good. That's Daniel Marshall in reply to the other one. Damn it, man. I'm still way behind. We're already at the possible end. Laugh out loud. I'm trying to listen every chance I get. I asked several questions over the soon-to-be 100 podcasts, and most were answered, but I never heard the last couple answered. That's probably because I haven't watched or listened to them.
Well, then that's your fault.
All, but just in case, bear with me, John and Skully. I'd rather try one more time than just give up on him. The young knife maker you met at Blade Show 1 year, who bought some of his auction stuff. Shit, maybe. We've answered this fucking question literally 5 times.
Yeah, 5 times. So we did answer your question already about this guy.
Asking pocket folder knife maker, but from what I hear, he started just outright. You got the wrong fucking dude. I just saw that kid. He just moved into an actual fucking shop out of his parents' garage. It's like a fucking... It's a big bay. He's got a dirty room he's building in there. Like, the kid's doing real shit. It's a Mormon kid. He is heavily involved in the church. I assure you, you have him mixed up with somebody else. We will see this kid at
He'll
Blade
be at
Show
Blade
in like
Show.
3 fucking weeks. You've got the wrong guy. But I'm talking about, or is it all rumors? I've got family in Franklin, so I'm going to see soon. I'm planning on coming up to the shop for sure. Want to show the youngin' where my belts come from. And the old lady wants to see the compound laugh out loud. I can't make any promises on what I'll bring, but I'm working on something for you and Skully as we speak. If y'all like him, and some of the OG workers there that aren't leaving anytime soon like them, I'd be happy to make a little something for everybody if they wanted. My little way of saying thanks. In the next podcast is the last. Thanks for being the best realest motherfuckers fucking podcast on YouTube. Laugh out loud. Y'all never disappoint. Always leave a smile. Haha. Who is this? I don't even...
It is Josh Major,
Right on.
as opposed to Josh Minor.
Skully, rapid fire questions.
Oh shit! Here we go.
You carry your 1911 cocked and locked?
There's no other way to carry it.
When firing your 1911, do you hold the safety down with your thumb as Colonel Cooper prescribed?
Do I hold the safety down with
What's
my
he
thumb?
talking about? Is he talking about the back strap?
I mean, yes. No, I don't. Whatever Colonel Cooper said is correct.
Is John correct? Your thumb is more important than your pinky. Fuck yes, John's
No,
correct.
John doesn't. John, he's still trying to turn like doorknobs and shit.
Thanks, guys, for making your listeners feel like part of the family. Keep rocking, Bradley. Man, thanks for
keeping the contact going, keeping it going.
Liberty chick.
Oh, here she is.
Here she is.
Here she is.
Hey guys, I just watched a video from 2015, and you had mentioned you had 45 employees at the time. I was just curious, how many do you have now? It goes up and down. If you have answered that before, I apologize, but I haven't made it through every video yet. You're 2 years back and not through every video? So this is 99, and I've listened to 100 through 103 on the website. Well, 99.23.2, 99.3, 99.4. Here's hoping they continue. Adam Gardner. Thanks, John and Skully. I've ordered a vape pen from Farm Extracts. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying that. Pharma Extracts. I fucked my ankle. Heel up pretty good. I have plantar fasciitis. Heel spurs about the length of a sharpened pencil chip. Broken. Work on my feet all day as a diesel mechanic. I am willing to try anything. Sick of hunting to make a living.
Diesel mechanic, how close are you?
Yeah,
I don't have any diesel work, but
you will.
Well, you know, I was looking. I had to drive the brown truck because we moved the trailer down to Loretta Lynn's. That motherfucker's got 350,000 miles on it.
Yeah, the motor's still good.
And I was like, man, I really wish I could. I actually want to
put that motor in.
I want to rebuild it, take it out, have somebody rebuild it, and then put that in something else.
Put it back in that.
It doesn't age well. The interior of that truck is very old.
I saw the Facebook post with the guy that had a 3-year-old order. Did you guys see the knucklehead that was leaving all those video replies in the comments? I did. I thought he was talking shit to the guys talking shit. I don't know who that guy is. Daniel Marshall, 99 already. These podcasts have been great. I, like most people, suspect who listen, watch these, would like them to continue. However, if they end at 100, I'll be sad. But the sadness is more that balance against the joy I've gotten from them. If the good folk at SEO stop the podcast, somebody else says that all the time instead of SOE. Oh, Spiricos, SEO. Stop the podcast, then that is their choice. Anyhow, output will keep coming from SOE, I believe. Good stuff, and it's been good to see that there are other people, good people in the U.S. who will keep your good country moving in the right direction and not towards the place the UK Europe has got itself into. All my love and every success for your future. Daniel Marshall.
Thank you for the chocolates, Daniel. My Nana loves them.
That is a 1-hour podcast.
1 hour? That's not bad.
That's all we got.
Is it 1 hour?
That's it. That's it. You guys aren't commenting. Like, we don't have the material.
We need some good material.
Fuck, our last podcast was 30 minutes.
At least we got an hour this time.
All right, guys.
All right, that's it, I guess. We will see you mañana.